Real quick guys, if you guys wouldn't mind, please be sure to consider going down your item shop and typing in BAY for your supported creator code, BEY, and then clicking accept. This will support me greatly and it will not cost you anything, so please be sure to do this, and let's get right into the video. Hey, what's up guys? Before we get into this video today, I just wanted to say please be sure to go check out my Twitch streams. All the gameplay in this video was streamed live on Twitch before I had uploaded it to my YouTube channel. I stream every single day for up to 10 plus hours a day, and I play lots of champion level arena, lots of professional scrims, and more, and tons of gameplay, and sometimes I even play with you guys. So please be sure to go check out my Twitch, watch my streams. I'm actually streaming live right now when I upload this video, so please be sure to come stop by. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment section down below. Alright guys, let's get right into this video, and I hope to see you guys on my stream. So a lot of you guys watching this video right now are probably struggling with either getting into arena, champion division, or just doing good in arena, meaning that you guys keep losing points every single game that you're playing, or you're doing good some games, but in the majority of your games you aren't doing so good, which is causing you guys to lose a lot of points. There's many different reasons for this, and in this video I'm going to be covering every single one, how to gain points every single game you play without losing a single point. So this means no matter how much points you gain, no matter how well you do in that game, you will never lose points and you'll always be on the positive side. Now there would also be a method to gain a ton of points in this video, which you guys can do weekly. This method will get you up to 1,000 all the way up to 3,000 and 2,000 points if you do it correctly. Let's get right into the tips. So the first problem a lot of you are going to run into is you're going to hop into games, and what's going to happen after you get into these games is you're going to do very bad in the beginning. What this means is that you're going to either die right off spawn, you're going to get weapons, you're going to die early to mid game, not necessarily mid game, but a little before it, and what this will do is you won't get any points. You might have even spent 4 to 5 minutes in that game, not gotten any kills, gotten a ton of good loot, and then all of a sudden you die. This is what you guys need to do. The first step to fixing this problem is you need to start dropping cold. Find a nice spot on the map with decent loot that you know no one's going to land at. This can be an unmarked location on the corner of the map. Usually edge spots will tend to have less people at them, and these can be great spots for you guys to land at if you don't want to be contested. These uncontested areas should be able to give you a decent amount of loot that you guys can have, and what this will do is it will stop you from losing early game. Early game losses are not your fault whatsoever. When you guys lose in the early game, it's completely based off of RNG most of the time. What this means is that you get let's say you guys get a SMG and your opponent ends up getting a gold pump or a gold tack. You have no control over this and you guys can't do anything about this. Or let's say that you get a gold pump but you're low ground and you have no mats, and your opponent gets an AR and they're at the high ground and they start spraying you. There's nothing you can do, and you're going to end up losing that fight because they have the advantage and you don't have any mats. This is why what you want to do is you want to avoid getting in these situations completely by dropping cold, and by dropping cold you'll get much more consistent with not losing points in the early game. Now the next mistake, or the next problem that a lot of people run into that makes them lose games very consistently, is what happens is they'll have one bad game where they'll do something dumb or something really annoying will happen, and what this will do is this will tilt them. What tilting is basically this concept of you getting so annoyed and so out of it because of something that happened that it causes you and your gameplay to go downhill. But what this will ultimately do is it'll keep annoying you and it'll make you play worse throughout your games. It'll make you make bad decisions, it might make you miss your shots, and many other things. The way that you fix tilting is you just forget about it. Just restart, focus on what you're doing in that game, and set a goal. Set your goal to be to get a certain amount of kills or to make it to the end game, and if you focus on this goal instead of what happened that annoyed you, the tilt will go away and you'll play much better. Now, once you got your tilted fix, there's other things that could be causing you to not be playing well. So the next thing you guys can do to fix this is maximize the efficiency of your loot. Let's say that you have a shotgun and your shotgun is very good, and then also let's say that your opponent has a scar. What you want to do is you want to be as efficient as possible with your loot, and the way you can do this is instead of trying to have a bloom battle with your opponent where you have a green AR and they have a scar, all you have to do is get them to come to you where you can take the advantage since you have that good shotgun and they might have attack. What this will do is that it will give you the advantage in that fight because they will no longer be able to use their scar as well as they would from medium to long range. And the way you guys do this is you play smart. So let's say that they have the AR and they're spraying you from medium range. All you have to do is start holding your walls and box up. What this will do is this will annoy your opponent and it will make them push you. When they push you, they're losing their position on you and they're basically making it much easier for you to kill them because they are giving you that advantageous opportunity to get them because they no longer have the advantage over you and you have the advantage over them. So use whatever you have to your advantage as much as you possibly can, guys. The next tip and one of the best ways to gain as much hype as you possibly can is to play in the solo hype nights. And what I suggest doing is playing in the Hype Night Plus. What the Hype Night Plus will do is it will give you a ton of hype as long as you are within the top 50%. Once you've played the Hype Night, I suggest playing it for at least 1 to 2 hours and then switching over to the other hype, the one that's not plus. It doesn't matter if you're not top 50, you won't lose hype points for this one, but if you get within top 50 and the higher you get in that percentage, the more hype you will earn. By playing both of these, you guys will be able to gain double amounts of hype and tons of it by the end of that night once the hype night ends. And what I also suggest doing is if you play on East or on West, play the opposite server's hype nights as well if you have the time. What this will do is it will triple to quadruple the amount of hype that you can earn from hype nights, and it is so worth it. I definitely suggest doing it if you want to earn a ton of free hype in one day just by grinding out the game for a few hours. Now the next major aspect of Fortnite Arena is the end game. Although you guys will be able to get a ton of points from eliminations, as each elimination will give you guys 20 hype, the hype that you get in the end game severely outweighs the elimination hype. You guys get 60 points of hype every single time you get placements, and there's many different placements and more hype that you gain just for getting the victory royale. So by getting the win or getting as close as you can to first place, you guys will be absolutely maximizing the amount of hype that you earn. So what I suggest doing, and this is probably one of the most important tips of this video, is play for the end game every single game, guys. Playing for the end game will give you guys so many points and you won't even realize it. Yes, eliminations are great, but eliminations increase your chances of dying and getting eliminated, and the problem with this is that they will stop you from getting to the end game. Also, another great part about the end game is it's so hectic, it's so crazy, there's so much stuff going on that it's one of the easiest and one of the best opportunities for you guys to get kills, and not just 1 or 2 kills, but a ton of kills. When everyone is running around in an end game and everyone is all over the place, that is the best opportunity for you guys to focus up and start hammering people and getting one pumps, clean kills, and easy kills on people who aren't even looking towards you because they're trying to rotate. Play smart, and the next tip is always be the first to rotate. Whenever there's a zone in the end game, be the first person to get to that zone. What this will do is it will set you up to get free eliminations on opponents that are rotating, and most of these people will be so busy trying to get to the storm that they won't be shooting back, and they will let their guard down and give you great opportunities to do heavy damage to them as they are trying so hard not to get eliminated, and all you're doing is you're just getting these quick and easy shots on them, getting very easy kills as they're trying to rotate and everyone is focusing them. Focusing is something that happens very often in Arena, and that's when basically a majority of the players that are alive in the end game that have already rotated will start focusing on a single player or a duo, and they will put a ton of pressure on those players. What this will do is this will cause them to almost die every single time because of the fact that they're getting sprayed, they're taking storm damage, and they're getting put under pressure that is just impossible to survive in. When you have 3 or 4 players or even more spraying you with ARs, SMGs, and other weapons like the minigun and the Sky's AR, the chances of you surviving decrease significantly, especially when the storm is putting pressure on you. And that's why you guys need to not be the last to rotate, and you being the first to rotate will guarantee you many free kills. Now, another seriously important tip for Fortnite is in the early game, a lot of times the problem that you'll run into is that so many players will just not have the right guns. In the early game, don't ever pick up a pump and just a pump. If you land on shotguns and you see a tactical and a pump, pick up the tactical. The reason for this is a lot of times you won't be able to find an SMG or a good AR that's a good follow-up weapon for the pump, and you can't always guarantee that you're going to hit headshots and massive damage with the pump that will earn you the kill. So what you guys need to do is you actually need to pick up the tactical, because with the tactical you have forgiveness. You can miss a shot, you can do low damage with a shot, but you'll still be able to follow up with another quick shot with that same exact gun, and it gives you more value. Because with one single slot, you're getting a weapon that gives you the ability to take multiple shots and deal heavy damage without having any kind of inconsistency, because if you miss a shot or get low damage on a shot, you'll still be able to follow up with another quick shot that will do a ton of damage. And that is something significant that many of you guys need to start thinking about. Many players will pick up the pump just because they like it more in the early game, but the value that the tactical has outweighs it severely. Another major tip, and the final one in this video, is to carry white heals with you in the late game. The best healing items for the late game are minis and fishes and slurpfish. The floppers and slurpfish are by far the best in the game. For endgames, you guys can stay in the storm and use these to survive for many seconds, up to 10 and even up to 30, and even more if you're carrying tons of them. What I suggest doing for your loadout is carrying a tactical and an AR, and then using slurpfish and floppers to survive as much as you can in the endgame. This will guarantee that you guys can make very smart and very quick plays before you have to get out of the storm. And this will help you guys a lot, because the best pro players are the ones that aren't afraid to take storm damage and the ones that are willing to make plays in the storm with their white heals. Although it seems like shields are enough, you need to carry minis and you need to carry fish. The reason I say minis is because minis are very quick to use and they'll get you 50 health. Big pots take 5 seconds, and most of them aren't the best or that great when you're being pushed in the endgame and when you're dealing with tons of things going on around you. And yeah guys, that is the tips that I have for this video. Good luck in the final weekend of FNCS. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.